welcome back, everyone.
We're back.
How's it going, Woke Fossey?
Pretty good. We've had some exciting matches so far. Can't wait to see what happens in this one between Real and Mr. B.
Yeah, we are jumping right into it at team preview. Not a ton of time for us to go ahead and give the rundown on these teams, so let's do it quick. From Brandon or Mr. B on the left side, we have got Regilecki, that is a Kyruem White, I believe, as well as Incineroar, Togekiss, Landorus, and an Aegislash. I know Nibs will be excited.
Yeah, for sure. And on Real's team, we've got the Ninetales Venusaur, which is an unusual but not unheard of sun combination that we've seen. We've also got a Comfey, a Galarian Moltres, another Vikavolt, and a Zacian.
Yeah, you know, we were talking about this beforehand, and I think that ATX VGC has an over-representative amount of Vikavolt. We've got Monferno Bro or Infernape Eat Grape, depending on which, whether you're on Twitch or in Discord. He brings that pretty regularly to these, and so it's exciting to see yet another Vikavolt here, especially on a team that looks really fast. It looks like maybe that's just a potential Trick Room option. If that Comfey goes for something like a Trick Room from Real side of the teams. And here we go with the leads. We've got that Kyruem White and the Togekiss.
Yeah. Wow. And it looks like we've got a Comfey Moltres, a combination that we got quite accustomed to seeing in Series 7.
I wonder what this Comfey Moltres wants to go for. What do you think?
I think it might do a Draining Kiss weakness policy proc on the Moltres. Of course, I thought a weakness policy might be on the Moltres in the last match, which of course it wasn't. It was on the Necrozma. Mm-hmm. So you never know.
Yeah, for sure. So we might be losing a little bit of this set due to connectivity. I know that Real had mentioned they were having some internet issues. So hopefully everything sticks out for us here in this set. So fingers crossed on all that.
Zordor in the chat saying this is the first time I've seen Aegislash since Series 1. And I agree. I don't see it a whole lot either. I think its defensive stats, though, are worth giving it another look, especially in a format with all of these restricteds just running around.
Yeah, for sure. It did get the slight nerf in losing 10 base attack as well as defense going into this generation. So I understand why people don't necessarily love it, and you don't get the benefit of that King's Shield while Dynamax. So you're kind of reserved to not be a Dynamax Mon, which doesn't feel great. But here we go. Turn 1, we're going to see a Dynamax from both of these trainers' Pokemon. I was going to say Restricteds, but this isn't Real's Restricted. Real's got has that
But
Zacian.
if Kyurem's faster, that Moltres is not going to like this.
Yeah, I believe the Kyruem White is base speed faster than this Moltres, but I'll be honest, I don't have my Kyurem calcs memorized.
Yeah, me neither.
It is just going to be faster. Oh, well, so the thing is, it actually targets into the Comfey here, not wanting...
Interesting.
Yeah, so an interesting thing, because this Kyurem White is very specially oriented, perhaps... fearful of proccing a weakness policy on this Moltres when one doesn't get set on its own, and not necessarily, oh my gosh, that does so much damage with weakness policy there, knowing that Moltreses are tankier on the special side, so maybe trying to avoid proccing it unnecessarily. It does force out another Pokemon here from Real, but now this Moltres is in a position where it's got the speed advantage.
Yeah, and this Zacian is certainly something that this Kyurem is not necessarily going to want to face down. Of course, the Zacian is going to outspeed that Kyurem and the Togekiss, just kind of threatening super effective damage on both of them.
Yeah, and Moltres in a position here where, like, even if you try and follow me away, that Togekiss has to be incredibly bulky to live a max airstream from a follow me. And since the Moltres will be moving first, that leaves the Zacian just go and clean up whatever's left.
Yep, for sure.
Definitely good positioning here from Real, I'd say.
I would say so too. Even though you let your Comfey, kind of your healer Pokemon, go down in turn 1, it did what it came to do, and that is proc the weakness policy. But it looks like Togekiss is just going to opt for Protect right now, leaving Zacian free to just hit this Behemoth Blade right into the Kyurem.
Yeah, that's a relatively quick Zacian. I know most of them aren't being fully invested in speed. Some are opting more towards bulk. It's a critical hit there. Not sure that that mattered, given that it's double damage on Dynamax Pokemon, as well as a super effective hit there. And now this Max Airstream into a protecting Togekiss, not going to do as much, but still getting another speed boost, so something like Regieleki in the back doesn't look quite as scary.
Yeah, giving the speed boost to the Zacian as well is also a really scary thing. I like what Real decided to do there, deciding to go ahead and not fall into the trap of targeting down the Togekiss, thinking it's just going to follow me. You know, you targeting down that Kyurem and actually landing the Behemoth Blade because Togekiss did protect and really punishing Mr. B for that protect.
Yeah, so, and we see in chat, DJ Prime, wait, I looked away, where did Kyurem go? And it's responding back to its Pokeball.
Zacian.
Yeah, Zacian decided, sorry Kyurem, not going to be able to do a whole lot for the remainder of this game. But yeah, now in this positioning, it's pretty clean here for Real for the rest of the remainder of the game. It looks like Mr. B is just going to go ahead and forfeit here on after turn 2. Really commanding position, getting that Moltres with those 2 speed boosts and getting Zacian in a position where it just can kind of clean up whatever's left.
Yeah, and I don't know if Mr. B brought the Incineroar to that matchup, but I think Incineroar in a matchup with Zacian is a really smart move. I also might like to see something like that Landorus to join the Kyurem on Mr. B's team to try to make some adjustments and do some damage to Real's team.
Yeah, for sure. So, it is kind of a tough...
did Mr. B forfeit?
I believe Mr. B forfeited, right?
Real did? Oh man.
No, I did that wrong. That's on me.
Oh, okay.
Nope, that's
I
just...
was like, wait a minute. I don't know who won the last game.
That was me on autopilot. I'm sorry. The last couple of games, the right side has won the first game, so I highlighted the wrong area as I updated it. I'm also going to go ahead and move this down just a smidge so we can get a little bit more of the top. We don't have to worry as much about the bottom. Let's try and do that without losing.
That Ninetales is carrying a wide lens, and that makes me think it's a Hypnosis Ninetales.
I think it's Hypnosis as well. But yeah, here we go. Game number 2 of set number 4. If this is y'all's first ATX VGC Monday Night Friendlies, welcome. We do these every single Monday night. ! Friendlies in the chat if you're kind of curious about what's going on. We host a series of 5 different best of 3 exhibitions, and you're seeing set number 4 right here. We are using the current rule set, Series 8, so everyone is allowed 1 restricted Pokemon, that is 1 box legendary. And we see Real here going ahead and changing up the leads against Mr. B, and looks like it could potentially work out.
Yeah, I like Real, this lead from Real this time.
Yeah, it's definitely different from last time around. Not gonna have the Moltres mode pressuring a whole ton, but you do have access to your Gmax, Venusaur. Also, you can fake something like, we can see this, but Mr. B can't. You can fake something like a Sleep Powder like we saw last set, and try and force a Follow Me from the Togekiss into just a really nice max use. The thing is, Kyurem does have the ability to... It's super effective against this. Having access to, I believe Turbo Blaze is the ability. Does it get a Fire type move? I know it's not Stab.
Maybe.
I'm not quite sure. I'll be honest. The early fusion mons I don't know quite as much about as Necrozma.
Me neither.
Duskmane.
Well, we do see the switch out. The Ninetales is just going to switch out, maybe preserving that for later. The Venusaur is going to go ahead and max in this sun, which means it is going to be moving first. Do you think we'll see a Follow Me from that Togekiss?
Yeah, I think that at a point like this, it feels like you almost have to, because the potential for Max Quake feels kind of very threatening. You might see something like a Protect come out from this Togekiss, trying to bait that, know that I know you won't go for Max Quake when I have Togekiss on the field, and I can just click Follow Me.
I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I'd be scared.
Same. Whenever there's redirection like that, it's real tough. That is such a cool Dynamax animation. I missed that the first time around, where the Kyurem just kind of flies off the ground here.
We do see the Follow Me from the Togekiss, so all of the moves from this Venusaur right now are going to be going into that Togekiss, but of course, it does have access to that max ooze, which is super effective on the Togekiss.
Yeah, only doing about 50% damage and not really going to have the opportunity to do any more. I mean, it will hit harder next turn, but it's going to take 2 turns if you want to take out this Togekiss. As the Max Quake actually goes into the Comfey, what was the Ninetales slot, going to be boosting the special defense of this Kyurem by 1 stage, getting kind of offsetting that Max Ooze boost.
Yeah, I like that decision, not choosing to target down the Venusaur at all, but rather targeting that Ninetales, which ended up being a Comfey. But as we know, the Comfey can't use Floral Healing on itself, so it is really in danger of getting KO'd this turn.
So it can't, but I think we just saw a really interesting move. I don't see on very many Comfey there. I saw Synthesis, which would heal it back up 100%.
All right.
The thing is, at this point, the Kyurem could at any point go ahead and call Oh, we see the Protect come out from the Togekiss here, expecting likely a Max Ooze into that slot. As the Comfey goes for Ally Switch, one of Comfey's signature moves here, probably going to be taking something like a Max Flare.
Yeah, and the Vine Lash comes out from the Venusaur. It's not going to be enough to take the Togekiss down behind that Protect. But one thing that's really cool about these Kanto starters is that in the G-Max form, they continue to do residual damage every turn to Pokemon that are not their same type.
Yeah, the nice little Vine Lash on any Pokemon, it's going to be a nice chip, especially with the Hail on the non-Kyurem Pokemon, going to be doing additional chip damage. It was really smart of Real to go ahead and switch out that Ninetales early, recognizing that the Kyurem has access to moves that can change the weather. So now that Ninetales can come back in and go for an attack, or you can opt to go ahead and get your Zacian set up, knowing that you're faster, but knowing you're probably going to have to trade your Zacian for a Max Quake. So here I like this call. You just go ahead and set the set the Sun back up, get speed control back in your favor if you're Real, and you are able to threaten a KO on that Togekiss. You know it can't go for Protect, and you can do some nice damage all around.
Yeah, I agree. I think that you might lose your Venusaur this turn to something like a Max Hailstorm from the Kyurem, but then you've got a healthy Ninetales that's ready to do some damage and a Zacian in the back.
Yeah. So do you remember how these abilities work for Kyurem? Is it basically Mold Breaker?
I don't.
I don't recall at all.
Is it called Turbo Blaze?
Yeah, I believe something along those lines. Yeah, so Sir Wilson chatting is basically Mold Breaker.
Okay.
So all the different ways Pokemon says the exact same abilities over and over.
Right. Like the max move of Cinderace or G-Max Cinderace, you know.
Yeah, all
Same
of those
thing.
are Mold Breaker as well. So here we see yet another Ooze boost, which is just one of my favorite things because it reminds me of like an Amuse-Bouche. It's like a little Ooze boost. A little nice tasty snack before you end up doing big damage after the fact.
The Kyurem is going to Hailstorm into the Venusaur, and that's the end of Venusaur.
Yeah, that was a lot of damage there.
So the Hail's gonna stay up for the until it's expired.
Venusaur lived.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it looked like it lived on a little bit. I don't know if it lives to Hail Chip here, so I guess we'll see. Oh, it totally lives to Hail Chip. Yeah.
Did. Yep.
It's in a great position here. If it had access to something like Protect, it would be really nice to be able to Protect, switch out the Ninetales, and then recycle around, and you've got a +2 special attack Venusaur. But unfortunately, I don't think that this is carrying Protect. So this Kyurem will be moving first. Moving second after the Regieleki. So Regieleki can easily go ahead and pick off this Venusaur if it so chooses.
An interesting move we see on that Venusaur when it's not maxed is that Weather Ball.
Yeah, that's actually really cool because you do have access to a fire type move if you're in the sun. So someone thinking maybe I can wall this with something like a Ferrothorn. Can't really get a whole lot of damage down. I avoid all of the residual damage effects. Nope, you're gonna have to take a Max Flare in the sun, and a very fast one at that.
Yep. Real kind of deciding what to do here. What's the best course of action? Considering the speed tiers and those interactions, kind of deciding which Pokemon to target.
Yeah, Ninetales will go ahead and opt here for Protect, not wanting to take any damage this turn, as Alecki goes for the Electro Web, and if it misses this Venusaur, it's going to be really, really dangerous. Nope, going to go ahead and connect with that Venusaur, take it out with the... Wait, I spoke too soon.
Venusaur lived.
Hold on.
And the Earth Power goes into the Protect. That means this Venusaur is going to get the Earth Power off into the Alecki. That's a dead Alecki.
Yeah, that is a very dead Alecki. Oh, it's a Sash Alecki, but doesn't really matter given the Hail Chip.
Yep.
We'll go ahead and take out both the Alecki and the Venusaur turn. Wow, that survival was incredibly clutch by that Venusaur.
Yeah, that turn was wild.
Now, this Ninetales is in a great position, being faster than the opposing Kyruem. Which has just been chipped down continually here. You could continually...
Vine Lash, yeah.
Yeah, that Vine Lash chip. Zacian obviously able to go ahead and come in and clean up as well. And not having to worry about taking something like an Electro Web delivered speed against the opposing Incineroar in the back. So now Zacian can just kind of go ahead and pick its target here, get a bunch of damage off into either. You just have to try and call the Protects right.
Yep. And I think Ninetales too is also threatening some damage. If it does, in fact, outspeed this Landorus, it may not be able to do a whole lot to the Landorus, but it can definitely do some work on the Kyruem.
Yeah, for sure. So it looks like Real's going to go ahead and make a call as to, who might protect here and who might try and get some damage off. Both of these Pokemon are threatening super effective damage onto this Zacian, and Zacian's just going to go ahead and take its KO on this Kyruem, not want to have to deal with that. And depending on the item on this Lando, we might see a really good turn for Real, or we might see an Earthquake that does a ton of damage.
Very true. We do see the Earthquake.
Yeah, it is faster than the Ninetales. Ninetales doesn't survive, but
nope.
Zacian does because of the spread damage reduction.
Zacian gets one more attack. One more time to attack. The Vine Lash is still chipping away at Landorus, which is going to help that Zacian.
Yeah, extra little chip. Definitely nice here.
Interesting. There's crunch on this Zacian.
That is a really interesting attack. Looks like Real's going to go ahead and check and see kind of how many turns of Hail are left. The real question here is, let's see, the Behemoth Blade. Is this going to be enough at plus... Is it even +1 or is it
neutral?
It's a neutral because of the Intimidate.
Not quite.
Not quite enough. Earthquake will go ahead and pick up the rest of the Zacian, and we're going to game 3 here. Mr. B going ahead and clutching that out with a very, very well played Landorus there in the end game.
Yeah, I do think so too. I think that Landorus is probably going to be key for Brandon going forward in this match. It's not that you necessarily... Landorus matches up pretty well against all of these Pokemon. We don't know if it's carrying Rock Slide, of course, for the Moltres, but if you look at everything else, maybe not the Venusaur either, but once that Venusaur is gone, that Landorus can go to town on, a few more of those Pokemon.
Yeah, and presumably this isn't Koba on the Venusaur. I forget if we've seen it, if it was definitely not Life Orb, right? Thanks so much for the follow, Bloody. Yeah, I missed the item the first time around. It looks like it is Assault Vest, actually.
Vest.
Yeah, so that's why it wasn't carrying Protect, as we mentioned earlier. But something like a Max Airstream, like Follow Me Max Airstream, looked kind of nice if you're Mr. B with that Lando. You can kind of start to wall a lot of what Real's team wants to do just with that Lando alone.
So interesting that we haven't seen the Incineroar yet. I am very surprised by that, given the composition of Real's team. The double Intimidate is a really popular way of dealing with Zacian right now. Hey, Rapid, thank you for the raid.
Yeah, welcome,
so cool.
Everyone.
Welcome.
We're just hanging out here with the ATX VGC Monday Night Friendlies. We host a series of 5 exhibition games here every single Monday night. We are featuring a live battle right now between Real and Brandon, or Mr. B, and we do this every week. If you are interested in potentially wanting to play on stream, sign-ups go live every Thursday in the Discord, so check that out. Looks like we've got Nibs plug in the Discord as well as the Friendlies copy pasta. So thank y'all so much for joining. Hopefully this will be a good first game for y'all to be hanging out for. We're at game 3, set number 4 of the night.
Brandon, keeping the same leads again, and of course, Real is going back to game 1 leads.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming in, Rapid. How was your stream? Did it go well? Yeah, I think that the game 1 lead from Real was really strong. The Moltres just puts on a lot of pressure going for like max airstream into max airstream KO, 2-hit KOs both of these Pokemon once you get your weakness policy up. And the fact that you move before any follow me really buffs the fact that this Comfey is one of the best self-proccers in the game, because you get around follow me, you get around Rage Powder as long as you're faster than the Pokemon using it, and if you're a Comfey, you're faster than Togekiss, so. Yep,
you're faster than a lot of things actually, a lot of fake out users. Very true. Kyruem gonna Dynamax again.
Yeah, gonna go for big damage here, maybe not wanting to leave that Moltres around quite as long as the past games, maybe just going for a turn 1 max Hailstorm into it, thinking maybe perhaps a Life Orb coming off of the base special attack stat, which is really generous on that Kyurem White. Gonna go ahead and get a ton of damage off here, so I guess we'll see. It is always that scary piece of, am I gonna proc the weakness policy? Is my opponent gonna self-proc it? What's the best thing to go?
Hey Tiki, welcome back. Happy birthday.
Yeah, hey Tiki, happy birthday.
Comfey just gonna go ahead and proc the weakness policy on that Moltres. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, everyone in the chat, y'all shout out to Tiki, wish him a happy birthday. He couldn't be with us tonight on the call, but one of our casters and one of our good friends, and that helping hand max Hailstorm is just gonna go ahead and be enough for turn 1 knockout. Mr. B now in a commanding position without this Moltres getting any damage up on turn 1, wasting the entire
I know, and the max is gone. I wonder if that without helping hand would have KO'd.
Yeah, we do know Moltres is fairly bulky. It's a weakness policy variant, so I'd expect it had probably a bit more investment into bulk as opposed to something like special attack. But I don't know. I would like. Kyurem White has a stupid high special attack stat, which I'm blanking on what it is right now, but I know it's stupid high. When you add a Life Orb to it,
I'm sure someone in the chat knows.
Yeah. Let's see here. Now Zacian comes in. It is faster, but Togekiss has access to redirection, so something like Follow Me Quake feels really tough to deal with without getting any kind
170.
of 170.
That's disgusting.
That is, yeah. That's higher, that's higher than Spectre. Is that higher than Calyrex Shadow?
I think so.
We do see the ally switch here, playing the game Real, recognizing that, basically it just comes down to Mr. B targeting correctly. If it targets the Max Quake into the Zacian, this is going to be game over. Or not game over, but it's going to be game over for that Kyurem. Not going to be able to live a Behemoth Blade. This Togekiss, likewise, not going to be able to live a neutral Behemoth Blade, or +1 Behemoth Blade in this case. Just going to go ahead and take it out pretty quickly. Sorry, Togekiss, we miss you.
There's the fire move we haven't seen all game, but we're seeing now into Zacian, and I think that's just enough to take it out.
Yeah, looks like going ahead and calling the ally switch. I'm going to go ahead and eliminate that Zacian. I don't think any Zacian, especially without screens, is going to live that one, unfortunately.
True. Not with a 170 special attack.
No. 170 plus Life Orb, so just add a little insult to injury there.
Yeah. And now this poor Venusaur is just kind of left to be the damage doer on Real's team. And with the Gigantamax Kyurem, I just don't see how it gets done.
Yeah, this Venusaur can potentially, go ahead and pick up a KO right here on the Regieleki. Being faster, you can go for like Draining Kiss plus the Draining Kiss into an Earth Power to go ahead and guarantee the KO, knowing that it's a Sash Alecki from earlier games. But unfortunately, probably just going to go down here to a Max Flare.
Yeah, the Draining Kiss going to do a little bit of damage on this Regieleki, and Regieleki is just going to opt for the spread move Electro Web, which of course will lower the speed of both Comfey, which really probably won't matter too much on because most of its moves are priority moves. But it is going to lower the speed of that Venusaur that launches an Earth Power back into that Regieleki.
Yeah, and it's really only going to matter for this Venusaur in the event that the sun stays up. Now the fact that the hail has been set, Venusaur obviously not going to live a max hailstorm coming off of this Kyurem White here. So pretty tough stuff
Not
there.
even with an assault vest.
No, not even. Yeah, the assault vest isn't going to save you from that one. Stab, super effective. Base 170, life orb, max move. That's a lot to overcome without any kind of screens.
Can this Comfey do it?
I mean, that's the real question here. Can the little Comfey that could maybe just draining kiss your way through this and just continually make it? I don't know.
I don't know either. We see the Landorus come out. I'm not surprised to see it in the back again. Kyurem's Dynamax is now over, but I think that Real's going to have a tough time bringing this one back.
Yeah, so you do hit super effective. It's nice that the Kyurem isn't a fire type, despite, having the aesthetics of a fire type. But I don't think this is going to be enough. I believe it got one Max Quake boost, and Comfey not really known for its special attack.
Rock Slide comes out from Landorus. Doesn't do a whole lot in return, and Comfey can recover that on the next turn if it lives this Ice Beam from Kyurem.
Yeah,
which it does
it's not going to live that.
Nope.
Unfortunately, I believe the majority of the damage that this Kyurem took in this game was actually from its own life orb, and that one draining kiss. Really, really well played by Real and Mr. B. Super great adjustments by Mr. B in game numbers 2 and 3. Just targeting down that Moltres, kind of deciding turn 1, like if you don't max guard or if you don't ally switch, game.
Yep.